Well, today I get to talk about something that I love and look forward to all the time, and that's riding dirt bikes. Dirty bikes, baby, full throttle all the time, everywhere. That's the way we got to live. That's the way we got to do. We got to be excited. And I am excited to talk to you about this because I love dirt bikes. I love motorcycles. I didn't know that until I turned 50. I always wanted to, but my mom wouldn't let me because she thought it wouldn't be safe and I'd get hurt. Mom was right. That's okay. I'd have been hurt, and everything in life that you want to do is dangerous. Everything in life that you want, well, you could get hurt, but that's okay. Every sport I've ever done is dangerous. I think it was some famous person once said that I think it was Hemingway. If it didn't involve danger, racing cars, bullfighting, it really wasn't a sport. So I played football in college, and that was okay. Didn't really like it a lot of times. Didn't like the 3-a-days, all those types of practices. But I always wanted to race motocross. I wanted to be like Roger DeCoster, and I couldn't because my mom wouldn't let me have one. Well, now when I turned 50, I decided, I'm going to get me a dirty bike and I'm going to ride motorcycles because I've always wanted to do it. And when you're 50, if you pass away because you crash and get hurt, people go, he's over, well, so what? He's of age. It's okay. So I pursued dirt bikes with a passion. I've ridden almost, I would say 2 to 3 times a week. Maybe sometimes only once a week, but basically I've ridden as much as I could ride. I've gone through numerous bikes that I can't count. I've traded bikes and made money on bikes. I've lost money on bikes. The other thing I found is I found my tribe. I found the people that think a lot like me. I can meet somebody from Chicago like I did in a Chick-fil-A and become a friend of theirs. I can meet somebody on a Zoom, or not on a Zoom, but on a YouTube video, and I could become their friend. And I just talked this week with a person that I become a friend with that I met from, he does a YouTube channel. He's in his 50s and has a YouTube channel in Arizona. And like I met Will. And as soon as we started talking about dirt bikes, I knew I had a friend for life. And that's what it's like. I mean, it's amazing because now I found my tribe. I found people that think a lot like me. For the most part, we're conservative. For the most part, we love our country. For the most part, we love God. And we put God first and motorcycles a close second. And we love it because there's no other feeling that you get in life. There's no other feeling that you get in anything else what you do. When you do it right, it feels so good because it's so hard to do. Most people don't realize it's the hardest sport in the world. Not only is it hard physically, these machines do not like to turn. You're on slippery surfaces. You have to do the input into the bike exactly correct, or you pay for it. And you pay for it by kissing the dirt and sucking dirt into your mouth and into your helmet and into other extremities and possibly getting hurt. So you have to put the right input into the motorcycle at all times, or she will reach up and throw you down to the dirt. And she is female. The dirt bikes are females, and you have to treat them properly or they don't like you. You have to pay attention to them. You have to give them the love and respect that they demand, or life is not happy at all. The other thing I get is I get the sense of accomplishment, the camaraderie, when you go through a tough ride, a tough enduro, or something that seems impossible. I've done things that I didn't think I could ever do because I was on a dirt bike. I've overcome obstacles. I've come back from injuries. I've gone over things, up and over trees and up rock facings and all different types of stuff, gone down hills that I'm like, I am going to die. This is so steep. There's no way in God's green earth this bald fat dude is going to make it down this and live to talk about it. But I did. And it's amazing. And I really love that sense of, oh my gosh, it was like the hardest ride today. When you do an enduro, for example, or you ride at Lake Havasu and the whoops are 4 feet tall, and you're literally bottoming your suspension 5 or 6 times a lap, and the sand is wet sand because it rained that day, and you're getting sand in your mouth, and you're like, you get done and you have dirt all over your mouth, and you go, that was pretty freaking awesome, dude. I think I want to go do it again. And I want to do it again, and I want to be better next time. That's the other thing, is the work ethic that comes from dirt bikes. You have to put the work in. You got to work hard. It's not easy riding a dirt bike. You know, some people are physically blessed, and then there's the rest of us. We have to be the sweat hogs of life. You got to go out and you got to put your passion into it. You got to work when you don't want to work, because you have to, because you want to be better, because you don't want to get beat again, because the only person that you're competing against really is yourself, your self limitations, your lack of confidence in yourself, your lack of belief in yourself. You have to, in the skills and talents that God has given you, you have to reach beyond your grasp. You have to put the work in, practice pressure on the outside peg, raising the inside leg and looking down the rake of the bike, standing up properly on the balls of your feet at all time, and putting the proper input so the bike responds the right way. It's so hard, and you have to put in so much work, but it's so well worth it, because sometimes you go into the corner and no one that doesn't ride dirt bikes doesn't understand this. You go into the corner, you sit down at the right point, you hit the throttle at the right point, and all of a sudden that tire comes up and you do a slight wheelie down the straightaway, just a slight one, because you're getting maximum traction. And it's just an exhilarating feeling that you don't get from anything else, because you had to work hard. You had to believe in yourself. You had to spend more money than you have on things, on dirt bikes, tires, parts. But it's worth it because of the absolute soul-quenching desire, the fulfillment, the absolute fulfillment you get from the accomplishment. From when you, my goal when I first started racing, I literally bought a bike, went to a track way up north of here in Colorado, and I literally met a guy named Kevin. He's a friend to this day. I ride with him all the time. I met him at the track. He goes, "Hey, next week there's a race down in Colorado Springs. You want to go?" I went, "Yeah, I'm in." I had never ridden in sand. I had never ridden down steep inclines and ravines. I'd never ridden in a ravine. I'd never been up a steep hill. It took me 45 minutes. I'm not exaggerating. It took me 45 minutes to do the parade lap. There was a person following me. I found out later it's a gentleman by the name of Brian Davis. And Brian was the sweeper, and he was following me that day. And I got done doing the parade lap, and I was like, okay, well, I parked the bike, and I thought, I'm 50 years old. I'm fat. I'm out of shape. What am I going to do? What am I doing here? What am I thinking? I'm going to kill myself. I'm literally going to die. And I sat there having kind of a mental breakdown, if you will, just like sweating bullets. And oh my gosh, I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to die doing this. What am I doing? This is stupid. And I sat there, and Brian came up and he kind of goes, "Hey man, you should stay with this. It'll get better. Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, I almost died 54 times. I crashed 4 times on the parade lap. Way to go. That was really cool." So I waited, and for some reason, that race was still going on. It was a restart enduro. I walked over and I watched these young kids come through, and there was this whoop and go up this little steep embankment hill. And I saw these young guys hitting this whoop and almost coming over the handlebars. The bike would go whoosh, like that. And I was like, oh, well, I saw all of a sudden this older guy comes by, and he moves 6 inches over, and he doesn't hit the whoop. And it's smooth, and he goes up the hill. And I saw a couple other older guys do that. And I saw the youngest. And for some reason in my brain, something clicked, and I said, I can do that. I can outthink those guys. I can do that. So I went and reported to the line, and it was almost over. I mean, you're supposed to have like 4 marks on your little plastic sheet that they have on your fender for these restart enduros. And my bike was brand new. It still had the dimples on the rubber. And the person looks at it and goes, because I had the start time for the first one, but I didn't have any more laps. And I go, well, I had a bike problem in the pits. And he's like, oh, okay. So he writes my time down. And I'm happy to say that The second lap I did was 30 minutes long, and I finished in dead last. But I finished. I did one lap, and that was more than I've ever done before. And my goal from that point on for the first couple of years was not to be dead last when I raced. I raced up at Berthoud in the Hare Scrambler series there, and then I started racing in the Cork series, which that weekend was a Corks race series. So what has it done for me? Well, it's gotten me basically, since I played football, in the best shape of my life. Even though I'm still a little overweight, I say a lot overweight. Honestly, I sandbag people so bad. I've done races where I get done and people look at me and they go, that guy's hardly, that fat guy's hardly sweaty. It's not that hard to race, because I was doing Orange Theory Fitness 2 to 3 times a week. Now I do Cycle Bar 2 to 3 times a week. I work out all the time so that I can stay on that bike, so I can pursue my passion, which is to be as good as I can be with the talents that God has given me. So I want to thank you for your time, and that's why I ride dirt bikes, is because I love it. And it is it reflects life. Life's hard. You got to work at it, and you got to reach beyond your grasp each and every day. We got to reach towards that perfect human, that perfect example of being a human, which was Jesus Christ and his walk on this earth. And that's what I strive for in my dirt bike riding and in my life. If you have any other questions, feel free to call the office. Number's 303-353-1333. Blue Tiger, we're here to serve you the way we would want to be served. And our motto is do good, be good, make good. And we really believe in that. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you found this of interest.